What is up, my friends? How are we? Your weekend has officially started and you are very welcome along to the Anfield Agenda Evening News Roundup. Today we're going to be discussing what award Arne Slot has already won. We'll be giving you some words on Alexander Isak, a little bit about the manager's thoughts on the transfer window, the player that is ruled out for Liverpool for Sunday's game against Burnley, and we'll tell you which Crystal Palace player the Reds are plotting a January move for. That and lots more to come over the next few minutes, but you know the drill. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section if you enjoyed this video, and I certainly hope that you do. Please hit that like button and excuse the nasally nature of my voice today. I'm a little bit under the weather, but nothing is going to stop me bringing you guys the Liverpool news, and I hope to be back here tonight at 8:45, health allowing. So let's get stuck into it, and we'll start off with that award that Arne Slot has won. The first Premier League Manager of the Month has gone to our manager Arne Slot, and congratulations on that. August in the bag. Let's hope that he can back that up with a good September and October as well, because if we're winning, well, there's more chance of him winning more awards, and the more awards the better. And while we're talking about awards, actually, one new feature that you may have spotted at the AXA is the win wall, as Linda Pudity is calling it. So when Liverpool have big moments in big games this season, they're going to remember them by putting them up on a wall at the AXA, and I like it. Anything that stirs good memories and keeps morale high, it's a win with me. But let me know your thoughts on it. The only thing that gives me concern on it is I think Arsenal had one in there, so you know we don't really want to be second place FC, but I'm sure that we can do it from a champion's perspective. Right, Arne Slot speaking about what pleased him most, and he said, "The thing that pleases me most is getting the deal with Alex over the line." You can really see there that he was the manager's number one choice. We knew that going into the transfer window. It was the latest deal we got done, but one that I'm sure Arne and all of us are very happy that has happened. He then went on to speak a little bit about the deal that broke down for Mark Gay, and this is what he had to say. "It's ridiculous to deny that we were close to signing him. It's so out in the open. These things happen in football. For me, I would have liked to have signed him, of course. And I wonder, and again, this is just my thoughts, will we eventually see him in a Liverpool shirt? You know, I think we will. We're not going to talk about Canade and his future today because we've talked about that extensively, but I do think that Mark Gay will eventually become a Liverpool player. Will it be in January? That remains to be seen. Right, so fitness-wise, let's talk about Isak there and what the manager had to say in his pre-Burnley press conference. Don't expect him to play every single game 90 minutes on the pitch. That's definitely not going to happen in the upcoming weeks. He missed pre-season, he missed 3 to 4 months of team sessions, and now we have to build him up gradually." That was Slot giving a few words on Isak's fitness. He also had a few kind words to say about the Swedish national team coach Jon Dahl Tomasson, saying basically, thank you for not overplaying him, thank you for not rushing him and bringing him back more injured or broken than he was going over. So, good to see. That relationship is important. If our head coach can have good relationships with national team managers, certainly not going to do us any harm moving forward, but it was nice to see Arne single out the Swedish coach there for some praise. Now, I did mention at the start of this video, there was one Liverpool player who's been ruled out of the Burnley game, and it's Curtis Jones. Arne said Curtis Jones got injured in the last game, so he won't be available against Burnley, but I think the rest of the team all came back without any problems, which is great news. I'm always concerned when the boys go off in their international breaks that somebody is going to pick up a knock or be on the receiving end of a challenge that puts them out for a couple of weeks. So good news to hear that everybody's come back absolutely fine. We're going to move on back to Isak again and what the manager had to say about that signing. He said, "We mainly sign a player for his qualities, therefore I don't need to call him. We faced him a few times, I faced him a few times, he laughed and said, we know what a quality player he is." And of course we do. He scored the goal against us in the League Cup final, and we know what a good player Isak is. But the good news, we now get to see that in a Liverpool shirt. Speaking about the signing again, he said, "We needed an attacking player, and I'm so happy we could bring in the one we wanted from the start." And that's the key to this. Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards and the recruitment team went out and got the manager the one that he wanted, his number one target, and that makes me as a fan very happy, because if the manager's happy and he has the tools that he thinks he needs to do his job, then hopefully we've got more success coming. Now, speaking about Federico Kieza and why or how he reacted to being left out of the Champions League squad, this is what Arne had to say on that. Of course, he wasn't happy with it. I think he understood my arguments. That's not to say he agreed with them. But he gave the answer you want to hear from a player. He'll be there to help the team in the Cups and the League. And that is, again, testament to Federico Chiesa and his attitude, which has been nothing but exemplary since he's been at Liverpool Football Club. So I know we're all right behind him as well, hoping that Fede can get out there this year and push his way into the manager's thinking. So good to hear that he came back with the right attitude after receiving that what would have been disappointing news. Now, the interesting stuff. Let's talk about a report that Empire of the Cop have put out, crediting Mark Bruss COS. So, this is about a move for a Crystal Palace player in January that, if true, and of course I do have to say if because it hasn't happened yet, I think it will make you guys very happy. Let me read it out to you. Liverpool are expected to push for a January move for Adam Wharton. Happy? I knew you would be. Whose asking price in the winter market is expected to be around £60 million, a significant decrease from the £100 million Crystal Palace were demanding for him during the summer. Now look, we know how difficult it is to deal with Crystal Palace, so we certainly wouldn't be counting our chickens, but this is a deal that I know will make many of you guys happy if there is truth to it. He is the name that has most been on, well, the edge of your keyboards, because it's not really lips, because we don't really talk physically, but he's a name that you guys keep coming up with, and is homegrown, of course. Premier League tested, would be a great addition to the squad and a great competitor for Ryan Gravenberch in the middle of the park. Also, Graham Bailey giving us a bit of news on the situation with Michael Edwards. He said Liverpool owners, Fenway Sports Group, have opened discussions with CEO of football Michael Edwards over a new long-term deal. Now, touched on this yesterday as well. Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes and Arne Slot all signed 3-year deals when they came back to the club. Well, came to the club in two of the circumstances, came back with Michael Edwards. But they have to be renewed, of course. So hopefully that gets done soon. And it's good to see that, at least with Michael Edwards, those conversations have started. I'm sure Arne's conversations won't be too far away. Now, a little bit on our favourite second place manager, Mr. Mikel Arteta. This is what he's had to say about favourites in the title race. Liverpool have recruited the two most decisive players in Europe, with Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz. They are strongest for sure. He's not wrong. To be fair, look, he is pushing the pressure back onto our shoulders, but he ain't wrong. Liverpool have gone out there and recruited two absolutely massive signings in Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak, and I'd rather have the tag of favourites with these players in our squad than, well, trying to play catch-up. So for me, again, great summer transfer window. Little bit disappointed, of course, we didn't get Mark Gay over the line in the end, but we have done that decisive job of striking fear into our opponents, and Mikel Arteta trying to push back. Mohamed Salah saying, of course, Arsenal were the favourites because of that continuity of their squad, but Mikel Arteta trying to push that pressure right back over to Liverpool. So, health allowing, I'll be back tonight at 8:45. If I don't see you for whatever reason, the preview will be out tomorrow again, about I think 10, 11 a.m. for the game against Burnley, which of course we will be starting from 12:45 on Sunday. Until then, folks, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Looking forward to your comments as always, and thank you to everybody yesterday for all the lovely birthday wishes as well. Much love. Bye-bye.